Hello, it's Weekly Talks again, and in today's video, we'll talk about something really important as every video. It will be the topic of the end of the beginning, and the whole purpose is because this is the last video for the month, and the month's topic was new beginnings, and this is the end of the beginning. This is the start of the channel, first month. Um, it's a little bit funny because when we think about the end of a beginning, we think of, okay, what comes next? But sometimes nothing comes next, and we're just left alone questioning ourselves. Where are we at? So we'll talk about this stuff in today's video. Um, Before that, I just wanted to say thank you for being here with me, and thank you for sharing your time with me. I appreciate every viewer, every comment, and I'll start off as I always have had said, take what you want. These are my opinions, my views, and I appreciate and respect everybody for their own. So, without further ado, let's get into the topic. Now, the end of the beginning. Okay, first, it's insane for me to think that I already did a month of YouTube. My very first video, I was very anxious. I was like, oh, am I gonna do it? And I think this is part of the process. As I'm going with the channel, maybe you, the viewer, you're going with your own stuff, but when the beginning ends, you just see the progress. You just see, hey, I've done this. Because in our minds, I already talked, but in our minds the beginning is the most. We're scared of it. We're scared of the unknown, we're scared of new. And once we begin something new and then it's not new anymore, that's part of our comfort zone now. You look back and you kind of feel proud with yourself, and you should. That's not easy feats. Everybody's different, everybody has different battles within themselves, but once you approach the unknown and you take the step, you commit, and now it's not a beginning, but it's a habit, a lifestyle, a mentality, whatever it may be. You already gained, you already worked on yourself. So, congrats for being here. Congrats for doing it. And I hope that you never lose the spirit and that you just continue on, because at the end of the day, we're all humans and we all have struggles. We all go through stuff, but having ourselves, working on ourselves, with ourselves in such extent, that's the true meaning of being a person, a human. And I think that this is the beautiful side of being yourself. So never stop being yourself. So this is the first point for today's video. Um, uh, as I said, you see in the last video, it was the opposite. It was the beginning of the end. Now it's the end of the beginning. How funny. Um, I'll probably release both videos in the same day. So please make sure to watch the last one where I explain very important stuff. I'll debrief here also, but at the end of each month, I may, because the uploads will be weekly, but each month at the end, if they're like 3-4 days until the very end day, I'll wait, because I want every video to end off on the last day of each month practically. So that's first thing. And the second thing is, I already, if you track the channel, I do my best, and my plan for the channel is to upload 2 videos a week, one after the other. I'll see if I'll spread it out in the future, but for now I like it like that. And if you as a viewer have any suggestions, please feel free to comment down. Now let's continue. Yeah, the end of the beginning. So first we need to talk. I'll go back a little bit on the old videos because it was again about beginnings, but we need to talk about what is a beginning. And then what is an end? So a beginning would be when you say to yourself that you want something more from life and yourself, and you have your set comfort zone, but you say, hey, I want to do more, I want to expand more. So you do, right? You expand more, you begin, and that's it. Then what is an end? An end, I talked more about it in the last video actually, but an end would be anything that would be the finish of that act. Metaphorically, I talked about seasons, so the end would be winter while the beginning would be spring, right? Although, what happens when the end meets the beginning? So it's the end of the beginning practically, and that would be practically, summer. And I already talked about what comes after the beginning, which is the commitment, the dedication, the discipline, right? Believing in yourself. All you can check out all the other videos on the channel, but there is something really important that we need to talk about, which is not only what to do to continue, but how do you accept continuing? And I think this will be really important point for today's video. How do you as a person accept the fact that you already changed? Because, you know, everybody can say something that they're gonna begin but when you do it, you in reality change, even a little bit, but you change. And the more you go outside of your comfort zone, the bigger steps you've done, the bigger the change, right? And a lot of people take that for granted, take their own work, their own progress for granted, and that's how you as a person would deplete the progress. You would regress it, right? And we don't want that. We want it to continue on. We want to continue the progression. We want to know, hey, you know, I've done this and I deserve to be really proud of myself. How am I proud with myself without only, right, the ego being proud, but also like from a soul standpoint or whatever you believe in, like something deeper within where you understand, hey, I actually did this, and this was really for my own benefit, and that really shows I love myself. So now I even deserve even more to continue, right? Whatever the habit may be, whatever you've started, right? So, I already started with this definition of the channel of what was, for me as a beginning. Not, I was anxious at the beginning, but now I feel a little bit more confident, and with more time, more experience, you know, comes a lot of more stuff. So I'll experience it myself, and probably you, the viewer, in the same time going with me through whatever you're going on your own part. But just know that we're together in this, and yeah, I appreciate every second, every second with you. So just make sure to first believe in yourself, second love yourself, and third be yourself. These are things that I've talked, in almost every video, things that will always be keys and that are just set from when a person is born. It's just that's it. Because once you do these, not just saying it, but actually do these within yourself, just grow like that, like a tree. You'll, because that's in a sense allowing yourself to grow. Like, we as humans are set to grow, like anything in nature, right? It's natural act. But once you allow yourself, you do it. But if you don't, then that would be, you know kind of today's topic, where you don't appreciate yourself, you take yourself for granted, and you do the opposite of growing, right? So that's why understanding that what an end of a beginning is really important, because the end of the beginning is the really sweet part of life. That's when you've went through the struggle part of life, and now you kind of miss it. It's ironic, right? Because it was struggle even going out of your comfort zone, and now it's ended. Now you just continue and you're comfortable with it, but you miss the uncomfortable, right? So this is also a really good factor that maybe it will be a good idea to actually start something new, because we humans, even if we're scared of the unknown, we're also curious. We're curious for new stuff. And that's a big part of, growing and of just as a whole, like exploring life, you know? And life is there for us, for each one of us. So better not miss it, as it said. You know, time is the only thing that cannot be bought or reversed. So spending your time with yourself and with life is the best gift you can give yourself. And that would be the main point of today's video, you know? Appreciating yourself, giving yourself the time, and then appreciating the fact that you gave yourself the time, right? It's a little bit funny, but you know, once you go through it and think about it, you really understand the value of your own worth. And that's really important because everybody has some value and you cannot be defined by anybody else, only by yourself. So, yeah, that would be the main thing for today's video. It will probably be a little bit shorter. I'm thinking the schedule about the next month. It will on the 7th, so on the 7th of February will be the next videos, and then on the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, will be the other videos. And because of the Valentine's, the whole month will be themed around relationships and so on, right? And probably love and stuff. So yeah, can't wait to see what new videos I'll upload and talk about. I hope you also like it. And yeah, if you have any opinions, drop them down in the comment section. If you feel like you just like the content and what they do, make sure to also like it in the system, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be waiting you in the next one. Bye.